I am not a medical professional. If you believe you are experiencing a condition, please speak with your medical provider. My goal as a full spectrum holistic reproductive practitioner is to bring more awareness to different conditions, different holistic practices, and different ways we can support our body to heal and feel at its best. Yin Yoga. Welcome. Let's talk a bit about Yin Yoga. So Yin Yoga is a form of mud sitting or a form of surrender to oneself. This is not a strenuous type of yoga, so you're not going to break a sweat or feel uncomfortable or any sharp pains or anything like that. So when it comes to clothing, you don't have to wear yoga pants or anything specific. If you're in your PJs or whatever clothing you're in, that's fine. As long as you're comfortable, that's really all that matters. So again, Yin Yoga is really just a form of being still in the moment and surrendering, to being still in that moment and focusing on our breath. So you don't need a yoga mat or anything like that. If you have one, great, pull it out, and we will do a session of Yin Yoga together. And after the session, I like to write in a gratitude journal. So if you've got a gratitude journal, make sure to have it close by, or even just a paper and a pencil will do just fine. And then, write down at least 3 things at the end of the Yin Yoga session that you're grateful for. So I like to write down my 3 things or even fill the page. And when I'm writing them down, I like to be specific. So for example, I wouldn't say, I'm grateful for the sun and let it be that. I would actually write down why I'm grateful for the sun. It makes me feel good, energetic. It gives me that vitamin D. It makes me know that, spring is here and summer is kind of around the corner because you can see everything blossoming. So really write down the detail because that is what is important. So again, make sure you're comfortable. Grab a yoga mat. If you have one, great. If you don't, just, you can even do it on like a towel or a soft blanket if you'd like, just so that it's comfortable for you. And yeah, let's get started. So we're going to do some different breathing exercises, and roughly about 8 different yoga poses. So this is really what we're going to be looking at right here. So we're going to be doing the butterfly yoga pose, the dragonfly yoga pose, the sphinx, the seal, the cat-cow, which is actually 2 different yoga poses. However, they go so well together that they're usually done usually together. We're going to do the swan pose, which will lead into the sleeping swan, and we'll do some more stretching, and we'll end with the child's pose. So it's, as you can see, not anything that's going to be super strenuous. This is really just about stretching our body, those muscles, focusing on those deep belly breaths, and really being in the moment. We're going to hold each position for 3 to 5 minutes. And what you're going to do for each position is find that point. So for example, the butterfly, when you stretch out, find that point where it starts to tingle, or you can feel the sensation of pulling. Once you start to feel the sensation or the tingling, back up 15%. and then really sink into it and just relax and be in that moment. So I'll discuss a bit more in just a moment, and I'll show you how it's done. I'll do it myself and show you, and then we'll do it together for 3 to 5 minutes. Let's do some Yin Yoga together. So remember with Yin Yoga that this is not a strenuous type of yoga. This is more about being in the moment, surrendering to oneself, sitting in the mud. So you can wear loose fitting clothing, a sweater. You don't have to wear tights. Just wear whatever feels comfortable for you. If you have a yoga mat, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. You can use, a towel or whatever you have available, just, to give you that little bit of extra comfort. Now, keep in mind too, with this yoga practice, I am not your teacher. You are. Your body is your teacher. So what I mean by that is listen to yourself. You should not feel any sharp or sudden pains that feel extremely painful or anything like that. You might feel tingling or a buzzing sensation or pulling sensation, but never any sudden sharp pains. And if you do, you need to listen to your body and back that up, because you shouldn't be feeling that. So we're going to get started with some stretches and some breathing exercises. So again, get comfortable, find a good position to sit in, and let's get started. So let's begin with some breathing exercises. So we're going to place our hands on our abdomen, and this is so we can feel the movement when we're breathing, taking those deep inhalations and then letting the oxygen out and feeling the hands move back with every exhalation. So let's do 3 deep belly breaths, and then we'll go from there. So let's begin. Place our hands on the abdomen. Perfect. All right, so now we've done some deep belly breaths. Let's do some more deep breathing, but this time we're going to bulge our pelvic floor with every inhalation. So really push those muscles and bulge the pelvic floor, feeling the movement. Let's begin by doing 3 deep breaths, bulging that pelvic floor. Awesome. All right. So those are just a couple of different breathing exercises that you can do at any time of the day. But let's do a bit of stretching now before we get into our yoga postures. So let's wake up the chakras, do a bit of wiggling, really start rocking back and forth, finding the center. Get a bit farther, really finding that balance. Do another wiggle. Perfect. All right, so next we're going to stretch our spine and do some more breathing deep into the belly while we do that. Let's begin. To stretch our spine, we're going to lean forward, extend our neck and head so it's stretching nice and out, And when we do this, we're going to take a deep inhalation. So really take that deep breath. And then when we spin, we're going to turn clockwise, and then let that exhalation out, keeping the chin tucked in. And you're going to move nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do this a few more times. Perfect. Now let's do the same movement, but we'll go the other way, practicing the same breathing. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the chin tucked in, and then stretch nice and long. Perfect. All right, so let's begin some of our yoga postures. All right, so remember, you do not want to feel any sharp or sudden pains. Your body is your instructor or your teacher, okay? So the first thing we want to do is we're going to do the butterfly. So we're going to bring our feet together and nice and comfortably. In some yoga practices, they really, try to bring the legs in tight and really get in there, but really just be relaxed with this, make a nice wide diamond shape and just relax with this, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is walk down with your hands and just go as far as your body allows you to, and just really relax. And once you start feeling that pull or tingling sensation, back up 15% and then sink in to the butterfly position. We're going to sit in this position for 3 to 5 minutes and really surrender to oneself, focusing on taking those deep belly breaths and really being in the moment. If your mind starts to wander, don't worry, that's okay. Bring your focus back to your breath. And again, too, if you start to focus on, say, that tingling or pulling sensation and you think, I can't take it anymore, pause for a moment and go back to the breath, okay? Still listening to the body. All right, so let's begin. So we're going to find our spot where we feel that pull, back up 15%, so just a bit, and really sink into it, focusing on the breath. once finished this pose, we are going to slowly walk with our hands along our legs, back up, so we are sitting up nice and straight. Now, once we finish with the butterfly position, we're going to stretch our legs out, give them a little bit of a wiggle, maybe do a windshield washer with your feet, rotate the ankles, really relax those feet and the legs. And then the next movement we're going to do, or posture we're going to do, is the dragonfly pose. So for this, you're going to just spread your legs as far as possible. You're going to use your hands and again walk down as far as you can until you feel that pulling or tingling sensation. As soon as you start to feel that pulling or tingling, back up 15%, sink in, and focus on the breath and being in the moment. Again, do not worry if your mind wanders to the sensations or to what you're having for dinner or anything else. Once you notice that or recognize that your mind has started to wander, just simply bring it back to the breath. It happens to all of us. So let's begin. once finished with the dragonfly pose, we are going to again use our hands to slowly and carefully walk ourselves back up to the sitting position. So we're going to bring our legs back together now, and let's just give them another wiggle. Let's stretch and point and flex the toes, windshield washers, rotate the ankles. And for this next yoga pose, we're going to do the cat-cow. So for this, we're going to go on our hands and our knees. So let's get on our hands and knees. And you want to make sure your shoulders and your arms are nicely lined up. And so for this, you're going to take a deep breath in and arch your back up. Head or chin into the chest, and then back out. Stretch your head up, stretching those muscles, and exhale. You can even do a little wiggle if you want, and it is really relaxing. So let's begin. Wiggle. Okay. The next posture we're going to do is called the Sphinx pose. So we're going to stretch out nice and long. Really feeling those pelvic muscles on the floor. Let's take some deep breaths in, making sure your arm is at a 90-degree angle. It's all aligned with your shoulder. You don't want to be straining yourself or feeling any sharp pains. Really listen to your body. So for this, we're just going to stretch our neck up and out, focusing on those deep belly breaths, really pushing those pelvic muscles into the floor and massaging those muscles. This can be beneficial for the reproductive organs, but it's also beneficial for bowel conditions or cramps or anything like that. It can be very relaxing. So let's begin. Now, if you feel comfortable in this Sphinx position, you can stay here and continue taking those deep breaths, massaging the pelvic muscles. If you would like to take it a step further, you can push up with your hands, stretching and lengthening the arms into the seal position. We will hold this position for a couple more moments, making sure to stretch the neck out and up towards the sky. Now slowly go up onto your hands and your knees, making sure that your arms and back are straight and everything is nice and aligned. Taking your time, staying with the breath. For this next yoga pose, we are going to do the swan or sleeping swan. So let's get on our hands and knees. And for this, again, you want to make sure everything is nice and straight, your back is straight, you're not straining yourself, listening to your body and staying in the moment, staying with your breath. Again, if your mind wanders, that's perfectly fine. Bring yourself back to the breath. And really focus on the inhale and the exhale and just being in that moment. So hands and knees, everything is straight. You're going to walk the left leg back, bringing the right knee up. Now when you're walking the left leg back, you can use your toes to do this. Bringing the left leg or right knee up, walk your toes towards the left hip. And for a longer stretch with this left leg, you can point your toes. So right now I have everything parallel, kind of like headlamps. You want your hips to be nice and parallel and not, off balance. With your left leg pointed out, your right toes over towards the left hip and your right knee pointed up as far as possible. So from this point here, we are going to go down to do sleeping swan. Now you can stay at this position if it is comfortable for you, remembering to listen to your body. And if you do stay at this position, you want to point the chin up and stretch that neck out towards the sky, really taking those deep breaths in and out. But to go into sleeping swan, you're going to lower, placing the hands on top of one another. And now for this, you can either place them on top of one another flat or stacked fists. And once you do this, you're going to bring your head down, just place your forehead
on the stacked fists or on your flattened hands. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Remember to listen to your body and stay with the breath. Now slowly and carefully walk your right toes back up and move your left foot over, using the toes to walk your left foot back so you are back on your hands and your knees. So we're going to stretch our leg that we were just really working, our right leg. Let's point and flex. So pressing our toes into the ground, stretching that right leg out and pushing back with the heel. This is really one of my favorite stretches. I really find it feels great in those leg muscles. Again, make sure your back is nice and straight. You do not want to be straining or pulling anything. From there, we can do the left leg. Again, press in with the toes, push back with the heel. Really feel it. And then once we do that a few times, let's do the Sphinx and the seal, and then we'll work on the other side doing the sleeping swan. So let's get into the Sphinx here. We're just going to do this for a moment to stretch our muscles. If you feel comfortable, push up into the seal. Perfect. All right, so let's work on our other side doing the sleeping swan. For this, we're going to have to get back up on those hands and knees, and we're just about done. So great work. Okay, sleeping swan. Let's do this on the other side of our body. So we did the right side, we did the right leg first. We're going to do the left leg now. So again, on our hands and knees, everything's nice and straight. You're not straining yourself. You're listening to your body, not pulling anything or hurting yourself. And we're going to walk those right toes back this time, extending the right leg. And walking the left toes over towards the right hip as we bring our knee forward. So let's begin. So again, using our toes, let's walk the right leg back. Using our toes with the left leg, let's walk them towards the right hip. You can bring your knee up, again, making sure everything is nice and parallel. You do not want to have anything off balance. So you've got your your left knee up, your left toes over to your right hip, your right leg is extended. You can point those toes out for an even farther stretch on the right leg, and you've got the arms extended as well. And so if you'd like to stay in this position, that's perfectly fine. Listen to your body, extending the neck and the chin all the way up, taking those deep breaths. And then if you feel comfortable enough, lower yourself down onto flattened hands or stacked fists and really just sink into that moment. So let's begin. And then once we are finished with this position, again, we're going to slowly raise our head and our arms, taking our time, being really nice and slow about it. And then we're going to walk our right toes forward, walking our left toes back over, going back onto our hands and knees. Now this time we're going to use our left toes and slowly walk our left leg back up and move our right foot back over, extending those arms, going back up onto our hands and knees. Great work. And from here, we will do the child's pose. So for this is more of a relaxing pose, a relaxing yoga pose. You can either keep your hands behind you or out extended in front of you. So I really like to get the stretch in, but I want everyone to really listen to their body because again, I'm not your instructor, you are, your body is. So make sure to listen to yourself and don't hurt yourself. So let's do the child's pose. Stretching out nice and relaxed, really staying with the breath and resting our head on the floor. Using your hands, slowly and carefully push yourself back up to the sitting position.
As you're sitting up, make sure to really roll up and take your time, be cautious, and stay with the breath.
Okay, so we've done the child's pose now. We've went through a few other poses for Yin Yoga. And I thank you for taking this time with me. So now I'd like everybody to get comfortable, find a good spot, and let's do a short meditation. So we're going to put our hands in the prayer position to our heart chakra here, and just really feel the energy between our palm chakras and focusing on the breath. So let's sit in this for just a few moments, and then we will write in our gratitude journal. If your mind starts to wander, that's perfectly fine. The thing I like to say about meditation, it is possible. Anyone can achieve it. It's no different than riding a bicycle when we're little kids and we need the training wheels because, maybe some of us can ride a bike right off the hop, but I know a lot of us, myself included, needed those training wheels. And the same with meditation. We need to practice. Not all of us get things right off the hop. It takes practice. So the more we meditate, the more we focus on our breathing techniques and ourselves, the better we will be at it. So let's begin. Again, if your mind wanders, go back to your breath, focus on that energy between your palms, and really just be in that moment. All right, let's begin. Now, if you'd like, you may repeat after me. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today,
I will not anger. Just for today, I will be grateful. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. And just for today, I will be kind to every living thing. Thank you for joining me in this meditation.
Thank you all for taking this time to try Yin Yoga with me. Now, let's grab our gratitude journals, and I want everybody to write down at least 3 things that you are grateful for. Remember, be specific. Don't just say, I'm grateful for the sun. Say why you're grateful for the sun, okay? Or whatever it is that you are grateful for. So again, thank you for giving this a shot and trying Yin Yoga with me. It is so amazing for our minds, our bodies, our souls. And you can do this as a daily practice if you like. I like to wake up in the morning, maybe journal a bit, and then do some Yin Yoga. It really feels great to stretch the muscles out first thing in the morning. So thank you again. Like, share this video, subscribe to my page. I'm going to be bringing and making more content about our bodies and different conditions and all sorts of things. So follow along and see what interests you. Thank you again, and I hope you all have an amazing day. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, I am a full spectrum holistic reproductive practitioner. And so this means I am a reflexologist, a doula, and a Reiki practitioner for Usui Reiki levels 1 and 2. If you would like more information on different holistic practices and how we can support our body, check out my website. Holistic Health, Trust, Allow, Flow. There's a little QR code here, and all you have to do is scan it, and it should take you right to my website. There's a blog, and there's all kinds of information on our bodies and different practices. So check it out. And if you are interested, you are also welcome to book a reflexology session or a Reiki session, or we can even chat about doulas. So have a look, stay in touch, and follow along.